Yes, well, welcome back to the ill-equipped shop. We're up in the loft again. Gonna try and keep these videos shorter. It's been pointed out I take a long time. Maybe people get bored, I don't know. So what we're gonna do here is try and move along. Just make the videos shorter. So in an effort to do such a thing, what we got going on here today is, once again, we're going to be working on our cylinder. And what I need to do is our valve body saddle goes on here thusly. Okay. And what we got to make sure is that the center line of our piston rod coming out this end is parallel to the face of the valve body. Because if you have any deviation that way, the cylinder gets cocked, and then your piston rod's going out this way, you know, out in left field, and then you have this being, I'm exaggerating this, but if this was straight, laying flat up against the mating surface, but the cylinder was up off of it like that, then you'd have the rod going out this way, the cylinder valve body's going this way. You can't have that. You wind up with a lot of binding. So what we're going to do here is to try and make these as parallel as possible. The center lines, there's a little mark I left there in the center of this disc. And then there's also a little nib that I left on the center of the piston rod guide. So what I want to do is quickly turn these bolts around. Only need a couple mounted, I believe. Should be fine. Try to do this as fast. Oh no, wait, I gotta take them all out because they're in the way. Yeah. 40-some degrees today, so this would be a good chance if I have to make any adjustments to run down and run the valve body. Make any adjustments to that on the belt sander. And take care of our parallelism. Parallelism, is that a word? I don't know. So we're getting all our bolts out here. One more. Whew. And of course, Pika's hair is everywhere, so. Alright. So we're just going to put this on here real quick. Let's see, here we are. Just snug that up, make sure it's seated properly, both ends. And let's see, tighten this one up a little bit. Alright. Now, we're all set. We're put back on. Just a couple screws, all it takes. Now, I don't have a granite surface plate. Used to, don't anymore. And I don't have a height gauge anymore. Or a marking gauge. Those are all tools that would help in this endeavor. Well, what I do have, get these things out of the way here. Turn some more light on here. Made myself a little workbench. Put some casters on this old table here. And yeah, put some casters on there. There they go. Easily rolled around. Storage area. And off to the sides I could put some, I might build a little thing I could screw to the side here. Drill some holes for hammers, screwdrivers, pliers, whatnot. And then I mounted this articulated light here. There we go. Fully adjustable. Very nice. Okay, so anyway, back to what we're discussing here. Not quite sure where to put the camera here now. But what I do have, instead of a granite surface plate, I have a plate glass mirror, which should suffice. Nice glassy surface right there. That will give us a nice flat surface. And then what do I got here? I got, instead of a height gauge or a marking gauge, center gauge, whatever you call them. What I have, I make my own. I have my square, trusty Stanley square. Then I have these ceramic magnets. I'll put them down here on the back. That'll stick there. I have a galvanized finishing nail we'll use as our pointer. Magnet should hold that. Now the measurement is not important. We don't care about the measurement. It's irrelevant. All we want to know is the front of the cylinder, where the piston rod comes out, the same as the back when the saddle is on, the valve body saddle. So, getting rid of any hairs that might interfere with our measurement. I'm going to try to get a good reading on this. Let's see. Hi, Pika. Trying to find the part I sanded down for the... Oh, there it is. Alright. Then if we're good enough, I can glue this all up and we'll be ready to go, you see. I'll try to stay away from the camera, the front of the camera. Boom. Alright, so let's bring our amateur marking gauge up. Roll that down and back up. To where it's touching the center. Right there. There's that. Okay, now what we're working on, not going to move anything, we're just going to turn this around. Get more hair off. And to steer this end of the cylinder. Try not to bump it. Now I gotta get a good look here. Okay, that's right in the hole. Flip this around. Oh, it's right there. There it is. Can you see that? It's right on that nib. It was right in the hole. Now it's right on the nib. So without any further adjustments, I can go ahead and glue this up. And I'm just going to put a pen mark here just to increase my chances of repeatability. I'll know that the saddle was down this end. And then once I'm done with this being glued up, we'll check it all again. And then I can also use this plate glass. I'll spray it with some adhesive, put some fine sandpaper on, and lap this surface of the valve body down here so it's as flat and true as possible. So our height gauge substitute works real good. Ceramic magnets and all. So I'll bring you back when I have it glued up, and we'll see what it looks like. Try to get this, I'll use the DevCon stuff again, and glue the valve body to the cylinder. Clamp it, let it set overnight, and then we'll check it again, and it should be fine. And like I say, as I lap this, I can make any fine adjustments right here. But I'm very happy with that right there. That's just, as far as I'm concerned, that's just right on the money. I mean, we can make any allowances for any slop in the piston rod and stuff, but because it's going to be connected to the crank, we can adjust it, just tiny bits here and there, but you don't want too much binding or it'll just stop working. You want everything to run free if you can. So we'll bring you back when we're further along. Alright? Toodles. One more thing for the fans of Pika. There he is. There he is. Sneaking around. Yeah, I'm very happy with this.